The night the power went out, the city didn't scream at first. It held its breath. Streetlights died one by one, like stars being erased by an unseen hand. Phones went dark. Cars stalled in the middle of intersections, and then the fear arrived. People say panic is loud. They're wrong. Panic begins in silence. In the moment you realize something is watching you and you cannot see it. I was alone in my apartment, a candle shaking in my hand, my heart counting seconds that no longer mattered. That's when I felt it, not cold, not heat, attention. It spread across my ceiling like spilled ink. Slow, deliberate, alive. I couldn't move, couldn't scream. My body had already decided this moment did not belong to me. Then a voice unfolded inside my head, deep, distant, restrained. Found. The candle went out. Pain didn't come at first. Just pressure, like invisible fingers closing around my wrist. Then fire. I collapsed to the floor as a symbol burned into my skin, not carved, not cut, but written into me. My scream never reached my own ears. The darkness swallowed sound itself, and then the power returned. Lights snapped back on, the world reset. But I didn't. By morning, the city called it a blackout, a system failure, a coincidence. No one reported shadows. No one mentioned voices. On my wrist, the mark lay quiet, dark, perfect, and mine. I wrapped it in a bandage and lies. 3 days later, a stranger sat across from me on the train, too still, too silent, too aware. His eyes dropped to my covered wrist. "You felt the dark choose you," he said softly. My lungs stopped working. "No," I whispered. "You're wrong." His mouth curved into something that wasn't quite a smile. "Everyone says that at first." He told me everything in broken pieces. That shadows were not absence, they were a kingdom. That the Dark King feeds on human emotion because monsters were once human too. And that once every 100 years, a marked human was taken not to die, but to change the balance of power. "You are the 10th, he said. The others fell in love with him. My stomach twisted, and then he stood to leave. They stopped surviving. That night, the mark heated for the first time, not burning, calling. My walls breathed. My floor stretched. Darkness folded open like a door. And I understood what true fear was. They didn't drag me. They waited. Shadows gathered at the edges of my room, patient as predators who already own the outcome. One step forward was all it took. The world inverted. His realm was not fire and screaming like people imagine. It was quiet, endless structures of dark glass, a sky without stars, wind that sounded like distant breathing, and at the center, a throne carved from shadow and memory. He sat there, the Dark King, not monstrous, not cruel, just restrained. His eyes were not gold, not red. They were depthless black-like, looking into the end of everything. He stood, power bent with emotion. "You do not fear me," he said. It wasn't a question. My voice trembled anyway. I don't know how yet. Something unreadable crossed his face. "Good," he said. "Fear would kill you too quickly. You are not my prisoner," he said, his voice a low rumble that vibrated through the floor. "You are my responsibility." I laughed weakly, the sound small and lost in the vastness. "Those sound like the same thing. Only to humans," he replied, his gaze unwavering. As I was led away by silent attendants made of dusk, I felt it. Not hunger from him, not thirst, but a suffocating restraint. Like a monster holding his breath. For me. That night, alone in a vast, unfamiliar chamber, the mark glowed for the second time. Not pulling, responding. And somewhere, beyond the walls of shadow, I felt the Dark King's thought brush against mine. A whisper in the silence. "You're not immune to me. You're becoming mine." Thanks for watching. If you're ready for episode 2, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss it. See you next time.